Hello, fantastic first graders. This is Mrs. C. I'm an ELL teacher at Florida Connections Academy. Today I'm going over the Science Unit 6 Looking at Earth, Lesson 2, Inquiry Skill Make a Model Portfolio Assignment. For this assignment, you'll be completing a worksheet and you'll also be making a really cool model. So let's look at your lesson together to see how you should begin your portfolio assignment. On the second page of your lesson, you can see there's a link that has some directions. There's also a lab sheet that you'll need to print out and complete in your own handwriting. Let's look at those directions together first. When you make a model, you make something to show how it looks or works. So Juan wanted to find out how a river flows into a lake. He used clay and water to make a model, and he could see how the river flows. So this is Juan's model, which is really cool. He used some real rocks, some real little twigs. He used real water inside, along with a lot of clay to build this little mountain, this lake, and this river. This is a really, really cool model. You don't have to make something as elaborate as this, but you will be making a model today. So look at this picture over here. Think about these questions you'll be answering. Number one says, what kind of land is in this picture? I see what looks like a hill right here. I also see some mountains in the background. You're going to make a model of the land and you're going to write about why people make models. All right, let's look at your worksheet. It's the same picture, it's just in black and white now. What kind of land is in this picture? I'm going to type, I see a hill and a mountain. That's what I see. You're going to want to make sure you write what you see. And if your sentence is a little different, that's perfectly fine. Now we're going to make a model of the land. Now you can make a model with many different things. I used some Play-Doh for my first one, and I made a model similar to that picture. It's not nearly as good, but it's similar. I've got my mountain made out of white. I've got my trees and my hill or my grass made out of green. So this is an example of a model that's made out of Play-Doh or clay. But if you don't have any clay at home, that's perfectly fine. You can use anything. This is a scrap piece of paper I found from an old assignment. I wadded it up and it looks a lot like a mountain now, right? If you've got some construction paper, you might want to glue it on to green construction paper. You might want to make some little green trees. And if you don't, if you just have white plain paper, you can always use crayons or markers and you can actually color. You can color things green or white or whatever color you need so you can make a model. Remember, it doesn't have to be made out of clay or Play-Doh. You just want something that will show what that picture looks like. All right, let's go back to our directions. Number 3 says write about why people make models. So I want to go back and look at what Juan said. It said Juan wanted to find out how a river flows into a lake. So he wanted to learn something, right? So I could write people make models to learn about how things move or work, right? That's a pretty long sentence. Yours doesn't have to be exactly the same, but people make models for lots of reasons. They make models because they're smaller, so they're easier to look at than the real land. They make models so they can do demonstrations or experiments to see what happens when they change things. Sometimes they make models just to see how something moves or how something works. So you're going to write a sentence for number 3 that is what you think about why people make models. Think about the model you made. What could you learn from a cool model like this? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.